One of this week's speakers, South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace, is with us before she makes her way here to Wisconsin and Milwaukee. Appreciate you joining us, ma'am. Thank you. Big picture here. How does the tone of this convention now change?
Well, I think it has to change. Right now, many of us are angry. We're reeling from the shocking events last night. First of all, I want to say that my heart and the pain I'm feeling today is with the family of the victim who was lost yesterday at the rally. No one should be shot and killed for their political beliefs. No one should be shot and killed because they support Donald Trump for president. And quite frankly, I am sick and tired of the rhetoric. I am a member that receives threats almost every day. I'm tired of the memes by the left saying I should be raped or deserve to be raped when I had the George Stephanopoulos interview. This stuff has to stop, and it starts with Joe Biden, who just weeks ago said that Trump should be in the bullseye. And he's the same guy they've been calling Trump Hitler for years now, using violent rhetoric, encouraging violence, and somebody took them up on their offer. And it was a tragic day for America, but I agree with you. The tone of the convention should change. We should have a unifying tone. I think that'll happen naturally, that we'll have a unifying message, not just for the Republican Party, but for a nation who's going to be hurting and need time to heal in the weeks and months to come.
Now, I understand the anger, and I've certainly heard it from almost every single Republican I've spoken to, elected and unelected. And Republicans have felt embattled. Chris made this point in our first block over the past 4 years after the events of January 6th. Does this not present an opportunity, though, to not engage in the whataboutism and to look forward? And if so, how do you do that?
This is not a whataboutism. This is real. Leland, my house has been vandalized 3 times in 3 years. My car has been vandalized 2 times in the last 3 years. My kids and I receive threats almost daily. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to close my offices everywhere to give my staff time to work from home and to feel like when they go to work, they're not going to be persecuted or attacked or threatened or assaulted just because they work for a Republican who supports Donald Trump. And so I think it's okay to be angry right now. But at some point during this week, during the convention, we need to show the American people that we're going to bring everybody together. And in fact, I was out last night when this whole thing went down, and I was in public. I was on the street. People were literally pulling their cars over. Democrats, Republicans, independents, reeling in shock from what happened last night and saying they support Donald Trump. They support the Republican Party. What can they do to support a nation that's hurting and push back against the rhetoric? And, you know, the left has been talking for years about, quote, the attack on democracy. What we saw last night was an attack, literally an attack on democracy. Blood everywhere, victims, a presidential nominee who was shot in the ear. It is disgusting. We need to condemn it at all costs, but also show leadership. And Trump showed leadership last night. He showed courage, he showed strength, and he showed leadership on the world stage last night. And that is the man who can lead our country out of this crisis.
Yeah, I'm struck always by watching the video over and over, and you notice something different every time. But initially when I saw it, I was struck by his presence of mind. He went down as the Secret Service trains their protectees to do. And then as they were ready, and you can hear the Secret Service talking in this moment, as they were about to move him off the stage, he said, wait, 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 and put his fist in the air and realized, I think, in that moment, what the world was going to see and watch from him. And you can see it there when he's saying, fight, 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 and the crowd goes wild. We've seen a different Donald Trump over the past couple of weeks, and you and I have talked about this. He's more disciplined. He's not as bombastic. After the debate, he held back and did what politicians oftentimes should but don't do, which is let their enemies or their political rivals flounder when they're floundering rather than get in the way. We haven't heard Donald Trump speak in the past 12 or 14 hours. This is a new and more disciplined Donald Trump. How does that translate this coming week and then into the campaign?
Well, he's very presidential right now, and it makes me proud to be an American to see him throw his fist in the air and say that last night and see the reaction of the crowd. Here is a man who is literally willing to take a bullet for his country, and he did. And that's the kind of leadership that he's going to show. He's been showing it for a long time. He and I have had many conversations, particularly, as you know, women's issues is very near and dear to my heart as a suburban woman and a suburban mom. I also want my kids to feel safe. I want my community protected. I don't want political violence out on the streets. And he's the guy that I believe truly can lead us out of chaos, lead us out of crisis, because he literally took a bullet for his country last night. And I think he can bring us together. And I saw on the streets last night in Charleston, South Carolina, black and white, Republican and Democrat, independent, everybody in shock, everybody wanting and needing, feeling the need to come together and unite as a nation. And he's going to do it. He's going to do it big. And I think you're going to see more of it in the days and weeks to come. And you'll see it at convention. He's a true leader, and the world needs him right now.
We're hearing the sound checks behind us. I'll give you the last 30 seconds here. Politics is downstream of culture. There's a lot of Americans, I think, who are looking in the mirror. You said it best yourself, Republicans and Democrats, black, white, on the streets last night, talking about how they don't like what they are seeing. You made an awfully big charge when you talked about and connected the shooting to Joe Biden at the top of this interview, and I just want to clarify that. Does President Biden more than need to condemn violence? Does he need to condemn and change his rhetoric? If so, how?
Joe Biden last night in his speech would not even admit that this was an attempted assassination. That is a problem. Just a few weeks ago, Joe Biden, after the debate, said that we needed to put Donald Trump in a bullseye. That is a problem.
Are you saying that he inspired this? Are you saying he inspired this?
Oh, absolutely. The rhetoric is inspiring political violence. I see it every day, Leland. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the threats on my family, on me, on my office, on my staff. I mean, the rhetoric has got to go, and it's been happening for years, and it's got to stop now, and it stops with Donald Trump as president.
All right, Congresswoman. Thank you, ma'am. We're going to see you here in Milwaukee in a couple of days. We appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.